So Paul O'Sullivan has had an interest in policing and what he calls the corruption within the SAPS for a long time. And he has an organization called Forensics for Justice. And that organization, through that organization, he then tries to fight these issues within the SAPS. So when Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi released those statements and when he held that press conference on the 6th of July, the expectation, I suppose, from some would have been that people like Paul O'Sullivan would have then supported that because Mkhwanazi was alleging that he was then fighting the corruption within the SAPS by naming these people. But that wasn't the reaction that we got from Paul O'Sullivan. In fact, he claimed that Mkhwanazi was not the knight in shining armor that South Africans had broadly seen him to be. He then issued a statement. He was on various media platforms, and he outlined why he believed that Mkhwanazi was not who he says he is, and he listed a number of reasons. And essentially, to summarize it, he was saying that he believed that Mkhwanazi is corrupt and that he was running a hit squad and a number of other allegations, including what he says is Mkhwanazi's interest in the crime intelligence slush fund. That's the background. And
so he was saying a corrupt police officer is pretending to blow the whistle on corruption.
Yes. So Mkhwanazi had positioned himself as a whistleblower during that press conference, and he had said that he had tried a number of avenues before he got to that point. But O'Sullivan was then seemingly critical of that approach, saying that, look, there were other ways to do this. You didn't have to come out in public. Mkhwanazi responded to that in various ways, and he said, look, he tried. He had spoken out about it before, he'd been in Parliament before, and he felt that nothing was being done, and that's why he did it. So that is what really brings us to these papers now and this damages claim.
All right, so Mkhwanazi is saying this is bad enough to claim 5 million rand in damages.
He says it's damaging his reputation. So from the papers now that we've seen, these were drafted on the 12th. They were served on Paul O'Sullivan on the 15th. And it's now that Paul O'Sullivan, through his organization, has responded to this through Forensics for Justice. He says that he won't comment on it. He won't comment on it publicly, but he will just issue this one press release. And in that press release, he really just says that he will not back down. And in fact, what he will do is, although he won't respond to it and won't expand on his claims about Mkhwanazi, and I'll come to those claims in a second, but although he won't expand on those claims, he does now have an interest in submitting the evidence that he says he has to the Madlanga Commission.